Of course, here on 6:30-something, we're filling two of Jonathan Ross's slots, as it were. And we're sorry to report he's having a tough time. Another little mouth to support, a failure as an Elvis impersonator on Monday. How's he making ends meet? Brenda Romanis reports from the shops.
Yeah, I got it.
Mr. Ross,
There's Zoe.
what are you doing in here?
I'm reading books containing senseless, mindless violence.
Lovely. Is this your shop then?
Yeah, it's partly my shop. It's actually owned really by the bank, to be frank, but together with a kind of a rather strange bedfellow, Mr. Paul Gambattini, I borrowed a huge amount of cash, mortgaged my first child, and we set this little comic shop up.
So how did Mr. Gambattini become your bedfellow?
Well, it's a long and convoluted story. We just kept bumping into each other at comic conventions. See, Paul, curiously enough, Paul is a comic fan. He's even sadder than I am. He's a comic fan from about 30 or 50 or 70 years ago or something. When I first started collecting comics as a kid, I used to buy these old comics, and you look in the letters page of the really old ones, and you'll find letters from a teenage Mr. Gambattini saying stuff like, I think your books are great, you know, very, very in-depth criticism. So I always wondered whether he was the same Gamba, and when I finally had the great pleasure of meeting him, I asked him, and he said yes, and then we started talking comics, got very fanboyish and boring about it all, and then decided what better way than to sort of go down the pan than spending your money on a comic shop.
Now this closes at 6:30, so you obviously go home to your new little baby.
I certainly do.
How are you enjoying being a daddy?
An awful lot. It's lots of fun. It's a small thing, but it's full of joy. And it's just a lot of fun. I mean, you haven't had any, presumably.
Not yet, no.
I wish you wouldn't ask that sort of question.
Intentions are there.
There's nothing much I can say that doesn't sound horribly cliched, because all the things that people say that are cliched are actually true. You know, it does give you a new perspective on life, and it makes you want to rush home, and you even find yourself enjoying things like having someone vomit over you. And wiping someone else's bottom actually turns into quite a joyous event. And then the baby does it as well, and we get around that. You know, there's lots of good things to be had there.
So who are the audience for these comics? Is it usually media brats like you and Paul?
Well, I think there's a lot of media type people, because there's a lot of really good stuff being made. Are you going to buy that, are you?
Yeah.
How much is it? I don't know.
Robocop.
I'll tell you what, because you're our 1000th customer of the day, I'm going to give you this book free.
Oh,
There you go. And this happens all the time down here, really, honestly. This is not just because you guys are here with the cameras. Honestly, that's a regular occurrence down at the shop. That's the kind of people we are.